What's up, Jeremians? I am really excited because KORG has launched an entry-level EK-50 arranger keyboard, but KORG calls it the entertainer keyboard. This is a keyboard that is targeted at the Casio CT-X3000 and CT-X5000, as well as the PSR-E463 and the PSR-670, because it is priced pretty much at around that range. It should be launched worldwide at a price of equivalent of roughly about US $400, plus or minus. I haven't got official pricing yet, but you will be the first to know once I get pricing. From what I hear initially about this keyboard, the sounds, the styles are all really fantastic, and it has a lot of the crucial features and functions that one would need on an arranger keyboard at a very friendly price. So I have actually made a video that runs through the different functions and features of the KORG EK-50 keyboard, as well as a compilation of different playing by different musicians on the EK-50, and you can have a listen to the sounds and style quality. If you're new here, my name is Jeremy, and in my channel I make tutorials, tips, reviews on arranger keyboards. If you like content like this, make sure you subscribe and smash that notification bell button. Let's take a quick look at the functions and features found on the KORG EK-50. The KORG EK-50 features a 61-key velocity-sensitive keyboard that comes in 4 levels of sensitivity, and is using a PCM sound generator which gives you a maximum polyphony of 64 voices. The keyboard also comes with 702 sounds, including 41 drum kits, as well as 280 styles. Let's have a look at what's on the rear panel of the KORG EK-50. On the left side, we have a cable hook for you to tidy up your power adapter cable, and we have a DC 12-volt power in, and the power adapter is included with the keyboard. The keyboard can also run on 8 AA batteries as well. Next, we have 2 USB ports, one to host and the other one to device. This will allow you to transmit MIDI signals to computers as well as other devices. Next, we have the foot controller input. This is a special input which I like really very much because it allows you to input a sustain pedal as well as an expression pedal that allows you to control the volume, loud and soft. This can be set in the settings function. And the sustain pedal actually recognizes multiple levels of pedaling, including half pedaling. It is not just an on-off toggle switch unlike other entry-level keyboards. Next, we have a pair of 1/4-inch output to the right and left for you to output the PA system. There's also an audio in for you to connect your phone or your music player and output the songs through the inbuilt speakers. Unfortunately, the audio in does not support a microphone input as the gain will be too low unless you are using a powered microphone. And the last input jack we have is the headphone jack. Now let's look at the control panel of the KORG EK-50 keyboard. On the top left-hand corner, we have the style list of the keyboard. On this keyboard, there are 280 style presets that is categorized into 64 different categories. And next, we look at the song list function. So on this keyboard, there are demo songs as well as inbuilt user songs. You can also access the USB memory, which contains your songs that you have from external sources. On the top right-hand corner, we have the keyboard list, which includes the keyboard sets. For KORG keyboards, instead of listing sounds, they have actually made a bunch of presets that they call keyboard sets. And here we have more than 170 different keyboard sets. These keyboard sets are actually pre-programmed voices for both the left hand, the upper 1, upper 2 and upper 3 voices. You are right, this keyboard supports up to 3 layers of right hand voices, and this is usually found on the very high-end Yamaha GNOS keyboards. Next, let's look at the modes that you can play the song in. You can play the song in 2 modes. You can play in the style mode, which is an auto accompaniment mode, or you can play in a song mode where you have a backing track that's loaded and that's playing along as you are playing with the song. If you press shift while hitting the style button, you will be accessing the music style. The music style is essentially the same as Yamaha MDB or music database. So for example, you have a song in mind, Bésame Mucho. This music style would have listed Bésame Mucho as one of the songs, and the minute you select the music style number 1, it would have all the sounds ready for you to play Bésame Mucho. Some of the songs found in the music styles are like Girl from Ipanema, Desafinado, Spanish Eyes, we have Smooth Operator, I Shot the Sheriff, Mambo Number 5, etc. And if we press shift while hitting the song button, we will be able to access the demo songs found in the keyboard. And to the right of the mode, there is this keyboard set button. And the keyboard set mode allows you to select more than 170 presets that has been programmed from the factory. And if you hit the shift button while hitting the keyboard set button, you would be accessing the STS function, which is the single touch setting. What the single touch setting does is that if you select a style, for example, if you select a bossa nova style, the single touch settings would be able to configure all the sounds on the right hand and left hand that is suitable for the style you have selected. This is the equivalence of Yamaha's one touch setting. And on the right side of the keyboard set button, we have a grand piano button. When you hit this button, you can play this keyboard like a grand piano. Next, let's look at the part mute and sound select. As you can see here, this keyboard supports both lower voices, upper 1, upper 2 and upper 3. You are able to layer up to 3 different voices on your right hand. There's also a drum, percussion, bass and other parts where you can mute, also adjust the volume for each section accordingly. For example, if you don't want the drums to be too loud, you can actually tone down the drum volume independently of all the other parts. The volume of all the different parts, the lower, upper 1, upper 2 and upper 3 can be independently selected. You can also independently raise or lower the octave on the lower and the upper keyboard parts. And next to this, we have the settings button. On the settings button, we can change things such as the touch sensitivity of the keys, the pitch bench range, the functions of the pedal, as well as the polarity of the pedal. You can also change things such as the master tuning, the chord detection mode, which this keyboard has 5 different chord detection, including fingered on bass on this keyboard. You can also change the scale to a different temperament using this setting. If you hit the shift key while hitting the settings button, you will be able to access the different effects that's available on this keyboard. And this keyboard, the KORG EK-50, comes with a massive 158 different variations of effects that you can apply to both the accompaniment parts as well as the keyboard playing part. And next to the setting button, we have the media button, which allows you to access files that's found in your USB thumb drive, which you attach to the back of the keyboard. Just below the settings button, we have the speaker EQ button. And what a speaker EQ button does is that it allows you to set 8 different EQs that's available on this keyboard that is suitable for the environment you're in. Remember, this speaker EQ only affects the speaker output and does not affect your headphone output or the output through your quarter-inch jack. And if you hit the shift key while pressing the same button, you will be able to turn the speaker off, for example, plugging in this to a PA system and using external external monitor speakers, for example. And we have a very nice, large, legible, and very informative LED screen. I will be going through the functions on the LED screen in a little while, but let's move on to the right side of the keyboard. We've got a very quick input dial, as well as buttons that you can move between categories very quickly. We also have a numeric keypad for punching in buttons. We have the power button on the side there, and below the power button we have this button called Ensemble. Ensemble is basically the auto harmony function that is found on Yamaha keyboards or Casio keyboards. For example, if you were to play one note on your right hand and it reads the chord that you're playing on the left hand and doubles or triples the notes that you are playing on your right hand. Next to the Ensemble button, we have the split button, and the split button splits the keyboard into two portions so that you can play the lower parts and the upper part separately. Next, we have the metronome button that will help you to keep in time, and if you press shift while hitting the metronome button, you can select the different beats that you want the metronome to click on, as well as the metronome volume. Next to the metronome button, we have the tap tempo button. If you are not sure what is the tempo of the song you're trying to play along with, you just have to tap the beat of the song that you're trying to play and it will set the tempo for you accordingly. I like the next feature very much, and that is the tempo lock feature. If you were to press down the shift button while hitting the tap tempo, it will actually enable tempo lock, which means that as you switch around different styles and different presets, the tempo of the keyboard will not change. And below this, we have the transpose button, which also doubles up as an octave plus and minus key. So if you were to hit the shift button while you hit the flat and sharp keys, it will increment or decrement the octave of each individual instruments specifically. So the EK-50 allows you to actually change the octave of every individual part independently. And to reset this transpose or the octave to the default, all you need to do is press both the buttons together. And to the left of the transpose button, we have the registration memory settings. And the KORG EK-50 comes with 10 banks of memory that you can register your favorite settings and sounds and styles into. And for each bank, you can save up to 4 different buttons. Let's look at the style control as well as the song control. It is amazing that on a keyboard of this price, we are getting a total of 2 intros and a count in, which is the equivalent of the Yamaha PSR-S series as well as the Genos. The count in is usually the intro 1 on Yamaha keyboards, and we have intro 1 and intro 2. The difference between intro 1 and intro 2 is that one of the intro will have a predetermined chord progression, whereas the other intro will allow you to change the chords for the intro accordingly, which is really very useful if you're trying to play a unique intro or an unique ending. And every style comes with 4 different variations, variations 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there will be 2 different kinds of fills that you can fill. And there's fill for variation 1 and 2 and a fill for variation 3 and 4. So all these buttons also have a dual functions which acts as a controller for your sequencer and your style playback. What I really like on this is the erase function. It allows you to specify a start point and an end point to just erase certain mistakes that you have made on certain parts of the songs that you've recorded. And there's also a very easy to use overdub function that you can access using this style button functions. Next, let's look at the very big and clear LED display that is included on the KORG EK-50. On the top right hand, we can find information on the tempo as well as whether the tempo lock has been activated. On the left side, we have a USB icon and a battery indicator to tell you if you have plugged in a USB thumb drive or how much power is left in your batteries. And just beside that, we have a very big chord display that tells you what is the current chord that you are playing. And just below the tempo display, we have an information that tells you which bank you are in out of the 10 available banks on the KORG EK-50. And on the left side, we also have information telling you if you have activated octave up down or the transpose up down function. Just below all this function, right in the middle, we are able to see information regarding to the style, the song, and the music style that you have selected. So depending on the mode you are in, different parts of the LED will light up, as well as showing you the number as well as the name of each different style, song, or music style that you have selected. If you have activated your settings in your panel, you will see that this setting icon will light up. And just right below the style information display, we have the keyboard set and sound display. So depending on which keyboard set you have selected, it will show the name of the keyboard set. And if you switch to sound mode, it will show you the instrument that you have selected for each individual part. And at the bottom of the display, we have a very nice keyboard display part that tells you exactly where is the split point that you have selected on the keyboard. And it also displays the key that you are currently playing on the keyboard as well. I hope you enjoyed this little mini tutorial and mini review of this really exciting KORG EK-50 keyboard. Till the next time.